Good evening and happy holidays, everybody. Welcome to our final league playoff of 2025, our Wednesday night premier season 4 playoffs. So we have a fun, quick little league that we have here with us. We are just getting started with our first couple of throwers here tonight. We got green taking on queen in our first set here. They're probably just about to take their practice throws, so we'll take a quick peek at our playoffs bracket here for the night. Like I said, they are our first match. After that, they are looking to see who can come out ahead to take on our first seed thrower, Grammatical Error. After that, we got Babs taking on Tommy Hawk's Pro Thrower. Don't know who that loser is. We'll let them finish up their last couple of practice throws, and we'll get at it here. Looking at some quick stats for the season. Grammatical Error in first seed with a gorgeous 74.9 average. 4 points shy of a 75-plus average there. THPT, a fair ways behind with a loathsome 71.5 average. I'd be embarrassed to be that person. We've got Barbara, followed by Green Man and Queen of Bulls after that. Looks like they're getting into our first competitors are getting into their throws right now. And they're already tied up at 8s. So Green Man is holding a 2-point lead going into the final throw. Looks like a 3 we got there. Oh, but Queen of Bulls also throws a 3. So Green Man is gonna maintain that 2-point lead, taking the first round of this match. Ooh, Green Man with a bullseye. Queen of Bulls with a 3 means he's going to get a 3-point lead as we go into the final acts. Got a 3 on the right. Oh, but we had a 3 on the left as well. That was going to need a clutch to take. So Green Man currently a 2-0 lead Final X. Green man is up by 5 points. He is going up. There we go. Queen of Bulls is now deferring at the moment, waiting to see what he gets. Can't see the clutch from here, but judging by the fact that it bounced off, I'm assuming he didn't get it. So a bullseye will tie this round and take us to overtime. Oh, close. Close, close. So going to be just out of reach, and Green Man is going to take that in a clean sweep. And Queen of Bulls is going to be our first to move down into the B bracket, but it's not over yet.
All right, this is Green Man here to do the announcing for Babs versus Shane, or in this tournament, Tommy Hawk's Pro Thrower. If you're just joining us, we just started. We finished the first match. It was Green Man, myself, versus Queen of Bulls. It was a best of 5 round. Won 3 rounds, but all the matches were close. All came down to the last row, especially the last round. Very close. So we got Shane and Noah doing their first 3 practice throws before they get started. Shane ranked 2nd in the league. Babs 3rd. But Babs has really come on strong. He has won, I believe, the Sunday Brunch League that finished a week ago or 2. So he's kind of coming off some strong victories. And then whoever wins this will be in the A bracket finals. And they will face the winner of Grammatical Error versus Green Man. The loser will face Queen of Bulls in the first round of B bracket. All right, looks like we are going to get started here. There's Shane's throw. Babs is solid, dead on target. I think Shane also has it. Starting off this match with bullseyes. Noah's throws down the middle. Same with Shane's. 2 more bullseyes, which is very common for both these players. It really does come down to clutch when these 2 play. Noah's is right down the middle along with Shane's. He's saying the second throw was or the first throw was a 3. So we are changing it as we go. So I guess it was a little low. Noah's looks good. Shane's is good. So now they are going to go out for a clutch. Babs has a 2-point lead, so if he gets a premier clutch, he will put it out of reach. A touch clutch will make Shane need a premier clutch to tie. There's Shane's throw. Oh, can't see it from the bar. Shane has a 5. Babs, if he hits it, he will win the first round. Does he have it? Ooh, that's going to be rough and close. I think we're seeing a little bit of green. Oh. Unless they're going to see like where it cut in the wood and then determine that there was no green. Oh, yeah, I think they're they're determining whether the pane of grass, well, green, I guess, is just over. And it looks like they're going to call it a touch clutch. So by the hair of a margin, blade of a grass. So Babs will take round number 1 in this best of 5 series. Here's Shane's throw is a good 5. Noah's is a little high. So we are trading off opening scores. Shane got a 3 in the first throw of round number 1. And now Babs has a 3 in the first throw of round number 2. Ooh, I think Shane's a little low. Babs is good, so that evens it out at 8 going into the third throw. Ooh. It's a little, oh yeah, that's really low for Shane. Another 3. This is very unusual. We'll see. He might be strategizing to go down to the B bracket. All right, solid 5s for the both of them. So now Babs has a 2-point lead. Both going for clutch. Usually when it's a 2-point lead, pro players usually go up for clutch just because Premier Clutch puts it away and Touch Clutch only gets 5. And Shane's, I think, has a Premier. Noah has a 5. So we got our first big axe of the playoffs here. I'll move over when they get their practice rounds. So for Big Axe, you have 1 practice throw per playoffs. So once you have a Big Axe game, then you are not allowed to have any more practices, I don't think. So those are our practice throws. So it looks like we're going to be starting off. This is going to determine round number 2. Already off to a really good start with this. Here's Shane's throw. Oh, that looks right down the middle for 5. Putting down the gauntlet early. So Noah will need a 5 to tie. Here's his throw. A little too high. Got a 3, needed a 5. So we are evened up at 1 apiece. All right, we switch sides and we do it all over again. So for those of us that are unfamiliar with axe throwing, or just joining us or watching for the first time, the targets we have in the middle is worth 5. There's the 2 throws. Looks like they're right on target. And then anything inside the red but outside the black is a 3. And then anything inside the blue and outside of the red is a 1. Ooh, I think Noah's is a little high on that one. So there's a slight difference between Premier rules and standard. With standard rules, if majority of the blade is inside the higher amount, then the point value counts for the higher amount. So for example, if majority of the blade, even if it's sticking out of the black, if majority of the blade is inside the black circle, then it counts as a 5. Now in Premier though, if you have a little bit of the blade outside of the black circle, then it counts as a 3. All right, we are tied. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Shane has a 2-point lead. Here's a clutch throw. And a 5-ish maybe for both. So I believe that Shane will take that one as well. So now Shane is up 2 rounds to 1 in this best of 5. So if Shane wins one more round, then he will advance on. Ooh, that throw looks a little low for Shane, but he snuck it in. Bullseyes again for both. So in this playoff format, how it goes is that you have your first 4 throws, you are throwing for the bullseye, and then on the 5th throw, you have a chance to throw for clutch. So 2 green circles up on the right and left side of the target. Now, if it's inside the green circle at all, it is worth 5. If it cuts through that tan box in the middle, like right from top to bottom, and doesn't get into any green on the side, it is worth 7. All right, we are tied at 5. Going into round number 4, both going up for clutch. Ooh, and Shane looks like a 5. Babs also has a 5. And we're going to have another big axe throwing. What a first game we have between these two. So as I said earlier, because they did a big axe earlier in their match, they will not have any practice throws. They will have to go straight to it. So, and also they will trade off who goes first, since Shane went first last time. Noah will go first this time. And the throw is, ooh, I think that's in. Oh, no. Oh, just a bit outside on that. Leaves the door open for Shane. 3 to tie, 5 to win the series. The throw is a little high. Shane with a 3, so we continue throwing. Noah still has a chance to try to make a comeback. Oh, gonna reset his position here. Here's a throw. Ooh, we'll see if he got low enough. Nope. Oh, just too high. 3 again. So same scenario as last time. Here's a throw. That's down the middle in the black. That will do it. So Shane will take the first match. All right, I'm going to switch out because I'm going to be playing Grammatical Error next, and we are going to have Shane coming back. Okay, so while Grammatical Error does his practice throws, since I already got mine in, I'm going to stay back here, give you guys a little bit of color as we continue on. We will show you what the bracket looks like as of right now. So our first match was Green Man versus Queen of Bulls. Green Man won that in the best of 5, 3-0, but all 3 were pretty close. And then we also just finished Tommy Hawk's Pro Thrower versus Babs. That went into 4 rounds. Babs won the first round, and Shane won the next 3, but 2 of them went into Big Axe, so it was really close. So now it'll be Grammatical Error versus Green Man, and then in the first round of the B bracket will be Babs versus Queen of Bulls. So again, just a reminder, if you are interested in playing in the league, we do have leagues starting up after the New Year's. This league in particular will be starting the Wednesday after New Year's Day. I believe it is January 5th. You can always go online and sign up or come in person to Valhalla, Asheville. We are here inside the Asheville Mall. You can come in and sign up. It is a great league. Great axe throwers, great people that are a part of this league. So do encourage you to come out. All right, looks like we are going to be set and ready, and I will hand it off to Shane.
Well, all right. So we got Green Man and Grammatical Error taking each other on. Obviously, we got Green Man on the right. Love those league shirts. But right now, they are 1 round in with Grammatical Error putting in a disgusting perfect round just to open up his very first throw or very first set for the night. And right now, they are in the middle of round 2 with a 6-point difference. Ooh, keeping it close. Ooh. So Grammatical with a 5. Oof, Green Man putting in just another 3. They're just constantly kind of tucking out there, which are brutal. But the way the night goes sometimes, let's see if he can dial it in just enough to keep this match going. Score right now is 2-0. That's a clean one. If we can keep that going, that'll be in good shape. Right. Final X, and we're at a 2-point difference. Green Man, not skittish, is going straight up for clutch. Solid 5. Let's see if he can get a luck shot, and Grammatical might be just shy of getting himself a clutch. He might have. No, I think he tucked it in just enough. So Grammatical Error is going to keep that just out of reach on round 3. All right, and so that officially means we're kicking down into our B bracket. This will be our very last 5-round match. We've got Babs taking on Queen of Bulls. I believe our competitors are probably going to warm up with a quick one for fun, and then they'll be kicking it off here. And I'm going to leave y'all in the capable hands of Green Man.
All right, thank you, Shane. All right. Well, I knew it was going to be an out, but for Grammatical Error, but I was hoping to make it a tough out. So brought him to the brink every round, every throw, which is a good thing. He's one of the best players that we have here. But feel really good about that, even though it's at a loss. But it's you really, with axe throwing, you just try to throw your best every time. So that's all. It's all about the spirit of the game and trying to do your best. And Bab's opening throw. Ooh, that looks a little low for a 3. Caitlin also has a 3. As we say here, friendship 3s. The reason for that is that no one gets a lead, even though there's 3s involved. It's just kind of more of like, oh, you got a 3, then I'll get a 3 as well. Whoop, bullseyes for the second throw. So we remain tied going into the third throw. Bullseye for Babs. Little high for Caitlin. Yep, there we go. All right, Babs up by 3. Or up by 2, I'm sorry. Another bullseye, and Caitlin's a little low. So Caitlin's actually been throwing a lot better. She joined the league 3 leagues ago. And she's been throwing with some of the best players, again, in the country, and she's been doing really well. She has greatly improved during that time. And Babs is going up, and he's got a 5. Caitlin's staying down. She has a 3. All right, so Babs will win 23-17. But 17 is still a very good score for Caitlin. Caitlin's average per match is actually 44.6, so that is about her average, or above her average. It's getting 17 per round. All right, Queen of Bulls with a 3, Babs with a 5. So we are in B bracket. There's a 3 for Caitlin, and still a 5 for Babs, but a little high. So B bracket means that you have 1 loss, so which means that if you lose in B bracket, you are eliminated from the playoffs. There's a bullseye from Babs, a 3 from Caitlin. So we have a 15-9 lead going into the 4th act. Now none of these matches have been out of reach, which is really impressive. Oh, I think he mistaken. All right, so Caitlin has a 3. Not sure if that was a mistake or if that was just a chance to get Caitlin to come back in it. But Babs has a 3-point lead. Caitlin will be staying down, and she will be getting a 3, which Babs gets a 5. So if Babs didn't get anything on that, they actually would have gone to big axe on that one. But now Babs is up 2 rounds to 0. So Caitlin is facing elimination. There's a 3. Ooh. I think Caitlin snuck it in there. Yeah, she did. All right. Opening 5s for round number 3 and throw number 1. Throw from Babs. And let's see. Caitlin, I think, got it in there too. Oh, that looks good. Oh. Must have just cut in the bottom there. That was super close. Babs with the 3rd throw. Caitlin with the 3rd throw. A 3 for Caitlin. So now Babs has a 4-point lead going into the 4th axe. Babs is also greatly improved. He has been throwing a little bit longer. 3 for Caitlin, 5 for Babs. Babs will be going up with a 6-point lead. Ooh, and Caitlin's going up. Might as well. Got nothing to lose. And here's the throw by Caitlin. Oh, Caitlin's a little bit high. All right, and she will be unfortunately eliminated. But good job, Caitlin. Way to compete. Every throw was meaningful, meaning that it never got out of reach. She kept it with the best, and like I said, Babs has been doing really well. So everybody here has been greatly improved. Of course, the stars are Grammatical Error and Shane. They've been throwing for probably what seems like decades at this point, and they are the best of the league. And then myself, Caitlin, and even Babs have kind of joined a little bit later. I'm not sure how long Babs has been throwing, but he is definitely almost getting to the level of Grammatical Error and Shane. And then myself, I've only been throwing in league for about a year at this point. So I still have much improvement left to do. So, but like I said, Babs has been doing really well, improving really well. This is a very competitive league, but again, bunch of good guys. You can learn a lot from them. They've been throwing for a very long time. They've given me a lot of advice over the time, and I would definitely encourage anyone who wants to compete with the best and learn from the best, this is the league to join. All right, I'm going to be up next, so I'm going to hand it off to Shane whenever he is ready.
All right, so Babs and Green Man are 2 throws into their first round of their B bracket match. This is now B semifinals. This is going to be best of 7. Green Man with a 3, Babs with a bull, and then Green Man with an unfortunate drop in his first throw. That looks like good. That looks like a bullseye. Oh, Babs with a 3, I believe. Yeah, just enough. Is going to give this a 5-point game going into the final throw with Babs in the lead here. Both going up for clutch. Ooh, Green Man just a little high. Babs with what looks like it should be Premier unless he's a little to the right. Nope, we got it. Cleanly puts that out of reach with some flair. It's going to take round 1. We're going to move on to round 2 here. Bulls all around on that throw as we go into the 4th X. Babs is currently up 4 points. Oh, a little high for Green Man. Ooh, that was almost a 1. Thankfully, under-rotated right into staying in there clean. So Babs is up by 6 as we go up for clutch. Green Man needing a Premier while also hoping that Babs is going to miss his. Oh, good lineup. He's a little low. And unfortunately, the opposite happened, and Babs split his in half. So I'm pretty sure Green Man got himself a touch clutch out of that for 5 points, but that is still going to keep that round out of reach as Babs takes a 2-0 lead going into the 3rd round. Ooh, damn. So Babs is going to put that, an unfortunate drop in the middle of that round is going to put that out of reach for Green Man, and Babs is going to take that in a clean sweep in 4. From here, I think we are already almost down to our top 3. Yep, so we have got Grammatical Error taking on Tommy Hawk's Pro Thrower for A finals. And whoever can't hang on to it in this one is going to move down to see how warmed up Barber is doing right now. So let's see how we do here.
I know, that was not ideal. All right, since I am eliminated, I will be the commentators for the rest of the matches. All right, as Shane probably mentioned earlier, we have Grammatical Error versus Tommy Hawk's Pro Thrower, a.k.a. Shane. So I'm just kind of looking at the numbers of the last match. I mean, Babs played a nearly, not a perfect game, but definitely a perfect match. And with my highest score being his lowest score, just not going to cut it. So that's okay. There is always next season. All right, so now we get Grammatical Error and Tommy Hawk's Pro Thrower. They just had the 1 for fun, so now we will be throwing for real. 5 for Grammatical Error. And a 5 for Shane. So it is pretty standard that both these players are going to get a lot of 5s in the first 4 rounds. So unless it's close, like this one, Shane with a 3. Ooh, and that's so again, as I said earlier, if any part, based on the reaction, it looks like it's going to be a 3. If any part of the blade is outside of that black circle or that black outline, then it is going to be a 3. And it is a matter of not even inches, but sometimes millimeters. Sometimes just a simple splinter of the wood can make a difference. So we're going to be looking at it closer. Looks like Babs is going to take that measuring tool and measure it up. So that tool is kind of cut in such a way where it kind of traces the circle. So you can kind of line it up on the black, and then if it hits any of the blade or if you're up against the blade and you can still see a little bit of tan in between the card and the rest of the circle, then it will measure as a 3. But if you can line it up on the black of the circle without hitting any of the blade, then it should be a bullseye. So from what I'm hearing from the commentary is that Babs can line it up in the circle without hitting any of the blade. Or at least he can hit the blade, but if he can still line up on the circle, it's still considered good or still considered inside the line. It looks super close, though. And I think we're going to be... Ooh, maybe we're going to be calling it a 3 here. So, yep, it is going to be a 3. So we are tied at 8 going into the third throw. All right. Both of them resume back to form with 5s. So I believe this is going to be a best-of-7 series. This is going to determine who will be in the championship round. So the winner will advance. The loser will play Babs in the B championship finals. All right, both going up for clutch. Ooh, I think Shane got a 3 on that last one, so Matt with a 2-point lead. Shane got a premier. Ooh, and Matt got a premier. Oh, much to Shane's frustration. Wow. Touch clutch would have put it to Big X, but Matt got his premier clutch. So in these kind of matches between two very good axe throwers, a 2-point lead can make a huge difference because there is that difference between a premier clutch versus a touch clutch or regular clutch, or what they call a standard clutch. Well, not standard, just a touch clutch, I guess. Because if you get a 2-point lead going into the last throw, and then you get a touch clutch, you guarantee a win. But if you have a 2-point lead and only get a touch clutch, then the other player can get a premier, tie it up, and then force big axe throwing. And looks like Shane has an opening 3. Matt's still with a 5. So what's interesting about these players, too, is Matt is a lot more precise. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. Matt gets more bullseyes, but Shane gets more premier clutches. So it kind of evens out a little bit towards the end because in any given match, Shane usually gets 1-3, or in this case, he's getting more than 1-3. But Shane is usually down by 2 points with Matt, and then it forces Matt to get a premier clutch because most likely Shane will get his premier clutch, and that usually helps tie the game up. Oh, premier, 5 for Shane and a 5 for Matt, so that means Matt has a 2-round lead in this best-of-7. Kind of very unusual. Shane is not usually can get 2 3s in a round, much less. I mean, he only gets really maybe 1 3 a match, much less a round, and he's gotten 2 in both rounds. So kind of struggling a little bit, but it may take him a while to kind of warm up and get to it. He usually plays well the later the bracket goes. But if grammatical error is on his game, he is a very, very tough out even for Shane. So grammatical error with more 5s. Ooh, that's going to be a little low for Matt. Maybe. And then bullseye for Shane. I think we have... Okay, yep. So we're going to a 2-point lead for grammatical error. He's hit his last 2 clutches. Shane has a touch clutch, looks like, and Matt with another 5. So unless Shane has a premier, ooh, and that's going to be super close. If Shane has a premier, then we're going to go to Big Axe for this round. But might be tough to see here. We're going to have Babs kind of take a look at this. So again, just to kind of get a brief overview on, again, the difference between a premier clutch and a touch clutch. If if you can see that there's that little box inside the green. I know the blade's kind of blocking it right now, but there's a rectangle by the button. There is a rectangle. Not really sure how many inches, not too many. But it's like a rectangle, and the blade has to cross through the top of the rectangle all the way through the bottom. Doesn't necessarily have to be straight, but it cannot cross any of the sides of the rectangle. If it crosses even a little bit of the outside of the side of the box, then it is considered a touch clutch. It has to be right down the center of the clutch, which is why it's worth 7 points, because it is a much more difficult throw than just getting a blade inside the green circle. So now what Noah's kind of looking for to see if it cut through the top of the box, because it has to go through the top. If it touches the top, it does not count as a premier clutch. It has to go through and basically get from green to the top to green to the bottom. If it does not get the green in the top, it does not count. So he's looking to see if it is good on the top. And then I would imagine you look at the side too a little bit. I don't know if the side is in question or not. Can't really tell from this angle. But I feel like they are going to call that a 5. So very close, but grammatical error will take round number 3. So now grammatical error is in a position where he is 1 round away from advancing into the finals. This has been a very interesting playoff so far. We haven't really had too many. We've had a good number of sweeps. There's only been one match where there wasn't a sweep so far. Oh, yeah, Shane is slightly off his game. See if he can kind of pick it up heading in, because if he loses this, he'll play Babs in the B bracket. And then he might be able to get a chance to play Matt in the finals again. But we will see. Another 3 for Shane. So I think he's having, I don't want to say he's conceding this, but I think he's kind of, well, we'll see what happens. All right. 4-point lead for grammatical error. Ooh, that's a premier, looks like, for Shane. So all Matt needs to do is hit a touch clutch, and he will win the series. And he got a premier clutch. So that will definitely put it away. All right, wow. That was a very surprising, unexpected sweep from Matt over Shane. Ooh, so I think Shane is going to try to regroup. And now he's got to play Babs in the B bracket finals, I'm sorry. So as we kind of get a break, we'll look at the updated standings. So again, in the first round, we had myself, Green Man versus Queen of Bulls. And then later we had Shane versus Babs in the second round of A bracket. And then Matt played myself. And in the B bracket, we had Babs versus Queen of Bulls. And then second round of B bracket, we had Babs versus Green Man. And then now we will have Shane versus Babs. And the A final bracket, or semifinals, we had Matt over Shane in a 4-round sweep. So as we kind of get a moment to, we'll tell you a little bit more about what's coming up for our schedules. So these are the X-Rowing League schedules I was talking about earlier. We have a Sunday brunch starting January 4th. That'll be from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. This will be on Sundays, and it's a fun casual brunch league. We're going to have standard rule scoring, which again means that majority of the blade needs to be inside the higher value. I don't want to say it's an easier scoring system, but it definitely is more for beginners, more for people that haven't really started X-Rowing and kind of want to get their feet wet. And if you don't have anything going on a Sunday, afternoon, you are more than welcome to join. That is probably our most popular league that we have, is a Sunday brunch. And then the Sunday evening is also on January 4th. That is right after the Sunday brunch league. It is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So instead of standard scoring, it is going to be premier scoring rules on that one. And then Tuesday night, on January 6th, we have our Tuesday night league. That is also going to be a standard scoring rule set. That is from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. Again, if you're starting off and Sundays doesn't work for you, you are more than welcome to join the Tuesday night league for a standard scoring rule set. And then finally, we have our Wednesday night league, which is what the playoffs are right now. That is starting January 7th at 5:30 to 8:30. That is going to be the premier scoring rule set. So again, feel free to join and come in any of the leagues. I do believe we have some other events coming up. But for now, we'll have a word from our sponsors as we wait. So again, some events coming up. I think we're getting kind of group squared away that we're playing here in Valhalla, Asheville. So once we kind of get that all squared away, then we will continue on with our match. So I know a lot of these events have already passed, but upcoming we have the Ragnarok Series 6, the Yule Marathon. That is going to be on December 20th of this year. What a marathon league is basically an entire league played in one day. So if you have nothing else going on for that day, you are free to come in, pay a league fee for the entire day, and you're playing basically for 8-9 hours. It's a really great way to get in a lot of practice for those who have been playing Axe League for a while, or it's just kind of a fun thing to do for a Saturday. And then after that will be the Ragnarok Series 1 for 2026, the Ostara Marathon. That will be on March 21st. And then Ragnarok Series 2 for 2026, the Litha Marathon. That will be on 6/20/2026. And the winner will receive a free entry into the 2026 Appalachian Open, which will be happening in April. And a little bit more about the Yule Ragnarok Series Marathon League. It'll be 20 matches and playoffs all in one day, starting at 8:30, practice 9 a.m. start, and it'll be standard rules, and you could even get your 81, which is a perfect score. So come on out on December 20th. It is $100 for the entire day. And then the Appalachian Open, as mentioned earlier, is going to be from April 17th through the 19th. Mark your calendars for that. It is Big Axe, Valkyrie Volley, and Marquee. That is going to be the Appalachian Open here in Asheville, North Carolina. So please come out and join. All right, we will take you on to back live where Shane and Babs are going to get ready for their B bracket final match. So this is going to be an elimination match, best of 7. So whoever wins this will play Grammatical Error in the championship. Whoever loses will be eliminated. So we're going to have a one for fun, and then we will get started. Shane, still based on the motion, is looking like his arm's still not quite where he wants it to be. But the thing with Shane is that he's cool as a cucumber. Rarely does anything bother him, or rarely does a bad game bother him. He will shake it off and just keep focusing on throwing. The veteran that he is. But Babs is looking to have an upset. So we'll see. All right, bullseyes to start off. So again, this is going to be a best of 7. They'll continue switching sides each round. Oh, and Shane's good, and Babs is good. So pair of 5s to open up this match. And yep, bullseye for both. Ooh, I think he got it. All right. Tied going into the clutch throw. See who can get their clutches. And, ooh, a little jumpy. And 5 for Shane. I feel like, yep, based on his body language, I do not think Babs got his clutch. I think that's the first one he's missed, if I'm not mistaken. He's been doing really well clutches today, and I think that was a rare miss. So we will rotate to it again. Ooh, looks like Shane is, see, a little low. Yep, 3 on that one. This is very unusual for Shane to have as many 3s as he has, especially during the playoffs. But strange things have happened. Bullseyes for both of them for throw number 2. So kind of a little bit more stats about both of these players. So Babs, his average points per match this league is 67.1. His high score is a 75. And he has a 4.471 score per axe. Fourth throw is good for both. So Babs will have a 2-point lead going into the clutch throw. Babs clutches, he's hit 39 touch clutches and 15 premier clutches. Shane may have gotten his. I think he got his 5. Babs might need to take a closer look on his. Questionable. Oh, he's saying it might be a 7. I think if it's a 5, even if it's a 5, he will win this round. So he'll tie it up. So here's the interesting difference between Babs and Shane as far as clutch throws. So Shane has only thrown 1 more touch clutch than Babs. Shane has thrown 40 touch clutches versus Babs 39 for the entire league, but the difference is in the premier clutch. Shane has thrown 31 premier clutches. Babs has thrown 15, so that is really the big difference maker. So if Babs is looking to try to win the match, he will definitely have to get his bullseyes and then try to get the touch clutch. All right, maybe on the occasion the premier clutch if he can, but he's going to have to really throw his 5s and get his touch clutches and hope that he can get his premier, make the difference. Oh, and a 3 for Babs as I'm saying that. Ooh, both got 3s. So we're staying tied. Oh, another 3 for Shane. What is happening? It's one of those where, I mean, he, again, still has a chance to win, but it's one of those where it's very strange to see getting so many threes. Oh, bullseyes for both. All right, we're tied at 16. It's a pretty low score for both of these players. But playoffs, kind of, the pressure's ramped up a little bit higher, so. Oh, I'm sorry, Babs is up by 2. So this is kind of, again, where a situation where it's, if he can get the premier clutch, he is in a very good shape. But touch clutch will at least keep him alive for the big axe, and a 5 for Shane. And ooh, I think he got a 7 on that one. So there we go. Babs is doing exactly what he needs to do, getting 5s and then getting a premier clutch. It's hard to beat someone who that's what they do, is get the 5s and premier clutch, which is what they call a perfect round. All right, bullseyes open up. So with Shane, his average is 71.5 points per match. And a match is basically, ooh, that's really low for Babs, but he might have snuck it in. Did he sneak it in? That was really close. So you do have 3 rounds per match. And as you can kind of see what the scoring looks like for all 3 rounds. An 81 is a perfect score. So 71 is really good, of course. His high score is a 79, so 2 away from a perfect game. His average score per axe is 4.769. So just above 4.5. Babs with a 4-point lead going into the axe throwing, or the last throw of round number 4. A really good position here. Ooh, and Shane is just still has not gotten out of his funk yet. All right, touch clutch. Well, his back's against the wall now. He's going to have to get a big comeback here, down 3-1. Again, best of 7. So Babs just needs to win 1 more round, and Shane needs to win the next 3. All right, bullseye for Shane, and a bullseye for Noah. So Shane has, as I said earlier, he has thrown 40 touch clutches, and he has the most premier clutch throws at 31. So his main thing is that if he can throw bullseyes and then throw that premier, he can walk away with a win. But he just keeps getting those 3s. So unusual. Yeah, frustration starting to mount for Shane, being down by 4. Back is getting, the tension is getting higher and higher. All right, so this is pretty much do or die for Shane. He's going to have to hope that Noah misses his clutch and that he gets at least a touch clutch. That's the only way that he can win, is Noah's going to have to miss his clutch throw. And I think that sealed it. Yep. Ooh, wow. What? This has been a very unusual playoffs where it's either been a sweep or only 1 round win for the opponents. So interesting. Wow. Okay. So now we will have our championship game. It will be between Grammatical Error and Babs. So the way this is set up, because it is double elimination, and because Babs is coming from the B bracket, he already has 1 loss earlier in the round. So he will have to defeat Grammatical Error in 2 best of 7 rounds, not just 1. Because he has to give Grammatical Error at least 1 loss in order to tie the series, basically. Which also means on the flip side, if Grammatical Error wins the first best of 7, he wins the championship. So it's a little bit easier coming in from the A bracket because all you need to do is win the first game of game of 7 or series of 7. But in the championship, you're usually playing against the top competition. So it is very possible, but a lot of times it goes back and forth. So, all right, we're going to have one for fun, and then we will begin. All right. So Babs got his revenge from earlier. So now he will play Matt, who he has not played so far in this series, or not in this playoffs at least. All right. Starting off the championship game with a pair of bullseyes. So this would be an interesting situation. Already Babs has played everybody in the bracket. He has played Queen of Bulls. He has played Green Man. He has played Shane, and now is playing Matt. And if he is able to beat Matt, that means he has beaten everybody in this tournament, which is an interesting stat. So we'll see what happens. All right. Bullseyes again. So we are going into the last row, 20 apiece. So here we go. This is game on for both these players. And oh, I think they're both 5s. We got Big Axe starting off. What a way to start off this championship series. So Matt does get a practice throw because he did not throw Big Axe earlier. And I am not sure if they decided that he's going to go first or not, but he does get one practice throw. And that practice throw is right down the middle. He's laughing because he's hoping to duplicate that again. All right. This one's for real, so we're having Matt go first. His throw. Oh, I think that is almost a 1. Whoa. So this is why he was laughing early. Got a bullseye in the practice, and then a 3 for a 3 for the real throw. All right, so here's Bab's throw. Ooh, does that stay in? Well, that's a 3 as well, so we continue on. All right. All right, X throw number 2. Big X throw number 2. The throw. Oh, I think that cut low. Yep. A lot closer, yes. All right. Same scenario as before. Right down the middle. Babs takes round number 1 in Big Axe. Oh, wow. And I believe that is Matt's first round loss of the playoffs. Very interesting. All right. So Babs is in a good start to try to steal a championship victory from Matt. Again, there's a lot of axe throwing left. All right, opening of round number 2 is bullseyes. That first round was very, very close. All right. Bullseyes again. Just kind of feel the tension here going on. Ooh. Let's see. Yep, bullseyes. I will say Babs has been looking pretty on fire, especially against me. He played a heck of a game. Oh, I think that's a little low for Babs. Ooh, okay. Oof. All right, we'll see. 2-point lead for grammatical error. Like I said, you got to play a nearly perfect game to play Matt. He is one of the hardest outs you will find. Oh, that looks right down the middle. Oh, but it's a 5 and a 5. Oh, Babs need a premier to at least tie it up. But instead, grammatical error ties up the rounds. So now they have 1 round apiece. And bullseyes. So since we talked a little bit about Babs statistics, we can go into grammatical error statistics for the league. And of course, he's gotten the #1 seed with a record of 21 wins, 1 loss, and 2 overtime losses. Bullseyes for the 3rd throw. His average is just below 75 points a game, which is pretty much getting a 25 each round. That's what grammatical error is averaging, is 25 points per round, which is basically 5 bullseyes and then at least a touch clutch every round. His high score is a 79, so he just missed a perfect game from 2 points. Ooh, that might look good. Yep. Ooh. Oh, Matt gets the premier. Noah needed him to get the touch, but both got premier. So grammatical error takes round #2. Man, this is coming down to the smallest margins. All right. Grammatical error is turning back on. Bullseye there. So here's the interesting fact is even though Shane has gotten more premier clutches during the league, grammatical error has more clutches overall. So he's got 49 touch clutches and 27 premier clutches, which is 5 more clutches than Shane had all season. 5s again. And grammatical error, if there's any weakness of his game, is a big X. He has gone to big X 2 times during the league and has lost all 2. And including the first round here. So that is the thing with grammatical error. If you can try to somehow get him to big X, you might have a small advantage. So now we're tied at 20. Oh, I don't think. Oh, no way. Did they both miss? Did they both miss? Oh, man. All right. Well, we got Big X round #2 coming up. So see if grammatical error can break that Big X curse. He has not won a single round in Big X this league. We'll see if that changes here. All right, first throw from Noah is a 3. So again, because they threw earlier, there is no practice throws. They are going straight to it. All right, if Matt can hit this 5, he will have a commanding 3-1 lead in this championship round. The throw. Ooh, oh, just too north. Just cut the top of it. We are doing it again. All right, Noah, this is to try to tie the series. 5 puts pressure on, and I think he got inside of it. He might have gotten inside of it. Ooh, it's going to be tough to tell. Might need another pair of eyes on it. Yeah, he's like, I can't tell. All right, we're going to have Matt take a look. Doing the old-fashioned way. From my point of view, it looks like it's inside. But there might be a part of the blade that might be a lot closer to that line than what we have in the camera angle. So I may have to take a look at this one. I'll be right back. All right, we're going to have Shane take a look. I guess prefer me behind the mic. Oh, yeah, looks good. Well, that was my initial thought. All right. So grammatical error needs a bullseye to continue. Here's a throw. Oh, right down the middle. There's no doubt about that one. All right, do it again. So after two, here's the thing about Big X. After two bullseyes, they do have the option to open up the clutch, which means it is another way to kind of have a further tiebreaker. So if they have two bullseyes in a row, then they can aim for clutch. And it is, I believe, standard rule set in the sense of if they hit the clutch, it is 7 points. If they do not hit it, it is 5. Or it is 0, I'm sorry. All right, we'll see what goes on Big X throw number 3 for Noah. Oh, they are going for clutch. Okay, so it's after one bullseye, but I think that is a 0. All right. Grammatical error has a chance to win this back and forth match, right? Or back and forth round right here. His throw. Oh, that is super close. Did he get a piece? Did he get a piece of it? All he needs is a little piece. And I believe he got it. Yep. Okay, so it's worth 5. But still, it's one of those, it's a tiebreaker. So by the splinter of a margin, grammatical error breaks his Big X curse for this year's league. Or not this year's league, this league at least. There are several leagues per year. So that is grammatical error's first Big X win. And it comes at the right time to gain a 3-1 round lead in this championship game. So now Babs' back is against the wall officially. He will need a win out in order to force another game. And Babs starting off not so well with a 3. Oof. We will see how this turns out. Bullseyes for throw number 2. All right. Well, this is going to be either a great comeback or Matt's going to take it. Maintaining a 2-point lead. Bullseyes for throw number 3. I mean, it's still anyone's game. 2-point lead is not that much of a difference in Premier League. Again, if you get your premier and the other opponent gets a 5. Oh, and Matt got a 3. Ooh, so that ties it up. Ooh, a little bit of hope for Babs. So now he doesn't have to worry about necessarily trying to come back. There's a throw. Oh, I think he's off. Oh, yeah, he's off. And Matt, does he get it? He just needs a green. No, he does not. We go to Big X again.
How can these guys throw like that against me?
Oh, boy. All right. So I believe Matt is going first for this one. Oof. Playoffs, anything goes, man. That's what we've learned. All right, let's see if Matt can get a good opening score here. He's got a 3 to start off. So it's not... Getting a 3 in Big X is not an easy task, but it is a lot easier than getting a 5. So we'll see if he can get a 5. Oh, I think he's a little north, though. He's cut it by a little hair on the top. Yep. Ah, that was so close. Ooh, Babs really needs to win this round, too. And all the pressure is going to be on him for being the second thrower. Ooh, that is... I think that's in. No? The right side might be a little questionable. The right side is, well, yeah, right top north or top right is really what's in question here. So we will have another pair of eyes. I might have to go and check it myself. Or Shane will take a look. So again, as I said earlier, the entirety of the blade has to be inside the black circle. So we're not necessarily, I mean, the paint is definitely helps, but it's actually the black tracing that it has to be inside of, and that is what we line up against with this card. And as I said, if we kind of push it up on the blade and there's still some tan between the black tracing of the circle, then it will be counted as a 3. But if we are able to line up that card with the circle, with the blade underneath it, then it'll be counted as a 5. And I think from this angle, just kind of judging based on how the card is formed and how he's kind of looking at it very closely, I think this is going to be determined as a 5. But it's going to be very, very close. I think we are, yep, we are looking at a 5. Whew. Very, very close, though. All right, with that pause, we still have to determine Noah's throw. So he will need a 5 to tie. And he got it right down the middle. That is right where you need it. No drama there. And then we continue throwing, and I think they will both be going for clutch since they got bullseyes in the last throw. So grammatical error, always being the prepared person, has his own clutch big axe that he throws specifically for clutch throws. Now, for clutch throws, because you want to try to cut between that square, it's actually a little bit, you want a little bit longer of a blade, at least within regulation. So here's his clutch throw. Ooh, I don't think he hit it. I think he missed. Yep. That will be a 0. So Babs has a chance to get this round and get the series to 3-2. There's his throw. Oh, and he missed as well. Too much to the right. And then they will do it again. So if they miss the clutch 2 times in a row, then they have to go back to throwing for bullseye. So it does kind of go back and forth, but it's the best way to try to determine a tiebreaker. All right, here's Matt's throw. I think that got a piece of it. Did I get a piece? Yes, he did. All right. So Noah just needs a piece, I believe. And the throw, oh, I think he is just to the, oh, so they're counting, okay, so they're counting Matt's as a premier and then Babs as a touch, and I think that's going to do it for everyone. So Matt beats the curse, wins on 2 big acts to close out the series and to win the championship. So I think they're just going to be throwing just to kind of see what's happening. All right, so I think that will conclude it. So congratulations to Grammatical Error for winning the championship for Wednesday night axe throwing league. And we'll have Shane close us out. I will do the trophy presentation once the trophy presents itself. But thank you all for joining. Hope you had an entertaining time watching and learned a little bit more about axe throwing. And I will do the trophy presentation relatively soon.